Deep Dive, where emotions meet the stars and spirituality takes center stage. Join Sherianna Boyle and Carmen Schott as they explore astrology, mental health, manifesting, and so much more. Two women on a spiritual path, sharing wisdom, stories, and the magic of sisterhood. Ready to dive deep? Let's begin.
Welcome to Deep Dive. I'm Sherianna.
I'm Carmen, and this is a show about astrology, emotions, and spirituality.
Each week, we're giving you your astrology update, at least Carmen is, and how it's impacting you emotionally, your relationships, your moods, just about every area of your life. And today, we're focusing on Sunday, May 25th.
Yes, we got the week of the 25th through the 31st. So this week, the big thing is we're in Gemini season now. So Gemini is an air sign, and it's very active and restless and likes to think, overthink, be on the go, socializing, networking, connecting with people. And that's kind of how I've been feeling. I don't know if you felt the shift from Taurus to Gemini, but it's a big one. And so a little bit more motivation. And I'm just like, oh, shoot, I need to make a list because I've got this and that. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to forget. Oh, yeah, that. So multitasking, that's a Gemini energy because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of knowledge and moving and travel. And that's why, it's just all about talking and networking and learning.
What do you say about Geminis that don't like to talk?
So if a Gemini doesn't like to talk, it typically has to do with a specific placement in their birth chart. So it could be their moon. It could be their moon sign is like Capricorn or Scorpio, where they're more secret, private. They don't talk as much. It kind of tones down their trusting nature because Geminis are very childlike and friendly. And a normal Gemini wants to connect with people. Like they like people. They like to learn different cultures, they have friends from all different walks of life because they like variety. They get bored easy. So if they're not really friendly, some of them could be shy. But once they get to know you and they feel comfortable, that's when their Gemini traits come out. Gotcha. And you'll see them being very, texting, wanting to talk on the phone. You may get on the phone and you're on there for hours. Gotcha. I typically have that happen when I know Geminis.
So I would think with a Gemini energy, that's also a good time if you've been thinking about getting therapy, because I think about talking. I would think that they process their emotions that way.
Yeah, that's.
Do you find that?
Oh yeah,
through talking or about things,
expressing through words, writing, especially talking. That's how they can understand things, and they're kind of known about coming. They're known for going to their friends and asking, "What do you think?" Like my daughter was just telling me, her Gemini friend, he's always asking their opinion. But they don't always listen to the advice they ask for because they are very independent and they're very, freedom loving. So, but they do appreciate other people's perspectives and they want to know as much as they can know, so they can make decisions and they get a little uncomfortable with emotions because it's not their air. So they're like, ooh, and they overthink their emotions. They can overanalyze their emotions. So Geminis are often known to be attracted to people that start out as friends. So they might, marry a friend, date a friend. So they really care about having friends, and being a part of groups is very important to have friendships because they need someone to talk to. They need someone to and they can obsess like a Virgo can because they're ruled by Mercury. They can repeat themselves a lot. Yeah, but they said this. What do you think it means? They overanalyze because they're ruled by the planet Mercury. And it wants to analyze and figure things out. It wants to solve problems, and they like to solve problems. So a lot of them are very good at teaching and writing and communication. They're also good at computer science, math, technology, psychologists. I mean, they're in a lot of different fields but they usually like doing a variety of different things because they get bored easy with one thing. They always have many things going on, many projects, many things going. And so we are all affected by that energy, even if we're not a sun sign Gemini this month. But the big thing that's going on is Mercury, the planet of communication, is going into Gemini as well on May 25th. So we have the Gemini sun, we have Mercury in Gemini now, and their Gemini people are going to feel good now because Mercury's in their ruler. It's in their sign. So they're going to really be in their mode for writing and teaching and talking and moving around and going on a trip or, getting outdoors. They don't like to be trapped at a desk. A Gemini likes to be out doing things, meeting people, networking, whether it's the neighbors or whatever. I have a Gemini neighbor and always waves, wants to come over and talk. They're friendly, but usually always outside, free, the fresh air. They're an air sign. If they're in a cubicle all day, they will go nuts. They need to be moving. They'll be walking around the halls, talking to people, network. And then go back to work,
Yeah.
So that's just the ones I've worked.
It's interesting because, my daughter's a Gemini. One of my daughters is a Gemini, and she just got a new job. And she told me later after she got the job, she said, Mom, she didn't have any experience in this field, very little, the job that she's in now. She said, they told me later that they hired me because of my personality.
Oh.
And I think that's a Gemini. And here was the reasoning, because there's close quarters in this office. And they said, we don't want to be working close quarters with someone that we don't enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Which makes perfect sense. I never thought about that because here we are. So many people think, I want to get a new job. Am I qualified? And I'm just going to say to you out there, people, anyone thinking about this, that might not be what they're looking for. They might just want a person that is easygoing,
friendly
and consistent and reliable. So go for the job no matter what.
Absolutely. Because, that's the thing, when I would have to hire people, a lot of people are really into, well, what's the degree? I'm into what is their personality? Are they easy to get along with? Yeah. Are they nice? Are they kind? Are they easygoing? Are they adaptable? Do they have experience? Because experience is more important to me than a degree, because you can train and teach someone how to do certain things. Some people have inborn skills and they're just good in a crisis. They can talk. They're people like them instantly because they're friendly. But I always rather have somebody that is easy to get along with, just like you told.
And having questions to ask for people, years ago when I would coach families, when I worked in the schools, and I would do parent education at night, and I would say, ask questions to the teachers. Ask them, how do you handle discipline? You don't want to wait until you're in it, and then be like, oh, I didn't realize that, they handle things this way. Or how do you handle communication? Or how do you handle when, a child misses a lot of school or something? You want to know these things up ahead. But I know we got off track, but this is all part of, I think, the Gemini. What I'm hearing is that getting to know each other, the flexibility in a Gemini, but I just thought I would relate the personality thing.
Yeah, I mean, the adaptability, they say Geminis are very versatile, adaptable. Sometimes they're very good with their hands, like playing an instrument, computer, whatever. They like to use their hands. And so their hands are everything, and they can I know a lot of Geminis. My uncle, my cousin are Geminis. They're artists, but they also are engineers. I mean, my uncle can build anything out of wood. I mean, he can build a house, he can build guitars. My cousin's the same way, but my cousins ended up being an engineer, but they don't want to do it as a profession. They have a lot of hobbies and a lot of talents. Geminis do. But so we all are going to tap in. We need to
feel our talents. Is that what's going to happen if will we tap into what the energy of motivation or connecting? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we can tap into this Gemini energy. I call it, harness this Gemini energy. Even if we don't have Gemini in our own birth chart, we're feeling this energy. We can harness it. So if we're normally shy, we can get out of our comfort zone. Maybe go have a conversation with someone you've been wanting to talk to. If you've been wanting to write, but this is a time to tap into that, because Geminis are natural writers.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the cusp. I'm like a day.
You are.
Right?
You are. You're almost a Gemini.
I'm almost a Gemini. Which makes sense because
within a day.
I get very grounded by writing. Some people say, how do you write? How do you write? And I'm like, well, it actually grounds me. I don't get overwhelmed by it. It does the opposite.
It feels good. It calms you. And that's because you're on a cusp. You have Taurus and Gemini. Your sun is right on the cusp. So you have traits of both signs. And that means that, for a Gemini to feel fulfilled, they have to express themselves through words or writing. So that makes sense. You've got a little bit of both. The Taurus,
a little bit of both, yeah.
And,
interesting.
But we're all going to be thinking more. We're going to be analyzing more. We're going to want to talk more, or we may be forced to talk more, even if we don't want to. So there could be more sarcasm, wit. Geminis are known to have sarcastic comments when they get upset. They can cut you like a knife with their words, but it's like
they're smart. Usually sarcasm and sometimes a sign of intelligence, or humor is a sign of intelligence. Yeah. They can do that. They can
hit you out of the blue, and then everyone's laughing. That's why people like them, because you can be talking about death or some dark topic, and they'll make some joke, and you're like, oh my God, and everybody will laugh because they're like, oh, that's so weird. Yeah, but you're right. So they lighten the if something gets too heavy, they can lighten it with their sense of humor. It's pretty neat. But
well, I'd love to know what else is happening this month. If you're just joining us on KMET Radio, we're giving you your astrology update. Carmen is. This is the week of Sunday, May 25th. We are going to take a quick break, so we'll be right back. Hang in there.
Astrology is energy. Unlock the wisdom of your birth chart with my new book, Your Astrological Energy. Pre-order your copy today and receive 10% off a personal consultation with me. Visit CarmenTurnerSchott.com to claim your special offer today.
When was the last time you took time for you? Hi, I'm Sherianna Boyle, author of the Emotional Detox book series and several other books. I also lead a variety of wellness retreats throughout the year. Visit SheriannaBoyle.com/events to find out more and to book your retreat today. Again, it's SheriannaBoyle.com/events. Welcome back to Deep Dive. It's Sherianna Carmen here, giving your monthly astrology energy boost here. Emotional boost, getting you prepared for your week. What else is going on?
Well, the biggest thing this week is we have a new moon, and it's also in Gemini, guys. So a lot of Gemini energy. So with the new moon, it is a time to manifest and set intentions of anything you want and dream and hope for. With manifestation, which is believing that we can attract the abundance from the universe. And our thoughts are things, our thoughts and what we think about. And so this is a time to sit down and really write down, what do we want? What are our goals? What activities do we need to do to reach our goals? Do we need to, what thoughts, affirmations are in line with that? So when you set intentions, you're supposed to write down things as if you already have them. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm thankful for my amazing new job. I'm thankful for my good health and my I'm thankful for being an entrepreneur full time and being abundant, and making money at it,
The descriptive language, I think, helps, because when you add descriptive language, like it's the difference between saying, let's have, the word good and the word delicious. You know what I mean? That was good. That was delicious, So when you create them, it just creates more feeling.
Yeah.
because you want to make sure with the manifesting that you're really feeling the energy of what you're creating, that if you're looking to travel more, go on a, luxury, you hear this in marketing a lot, right? A luxury retreat, or something like that.
Effective retreat, whatever.
So make it good. If we're in this new moon, which Carmen and I, we always talk about the new moon, make it juicy.
It's a good time to light some candles, light some incense, do some sage, just put some nice music on and do just a little meditation or just a little breathing exercises, and just connect within to, what do I want to manifest? Is there anything that I'm
What
not?
day is it, by the way, on the new moon?
The 26th of May, May 26th.
Okay.
New moon.
Yeah.
And you'll be feeling, you could start doing this, you want to work on this week, right out the gate here. We're on Sunday, the 25th. So, you want to work on it tonight. And then even on the 26th, you want to work on it. And then you'll continue to read your affirmations, visualize them, think positive,
Yes.
and do just a 5-second, 10-second visualization of you having it, like it's already happened, and then let it go. You don't have to spend hours visualizing or
I think
meditating.
that part of getting clear is so important, that people kind of, maybe they're a little vague with what they're aiming for.
Yeah.
And so getting clear into what is it that you want? I mean, everybody wants more money, right? But that's pretty general kind of statement.
And also know what you need to let go of. That's something I've been learning with the manifestation stuff, is like some things that they're not really in line with what I'm wanting to, what my goals are, but we get sidetracked and we get these opportunities and we take them, and then we're like, well, that doesn't feel right now. And things change, and it's okay to say, you know what, this isn't right for me anymore. Or I think, I committed too soon to this, and it's not in line with my main goal, and so, for me, it's, I want to write, I want to teach. So writing and teaching and doing astrology, those are the things I want. So anything that the universe sends you that's in line with the main goal, those are just nuggets the universe has given you, little signs, and that you're on the right track. But when you're doing things that are blocking, I find that nothing's happening because your energy's not, you're sidetracked in too many different directions for whatever reason. And sometimes we have to, but to survive, to pay bills. I mean, but if
I've been really focusing on lately, and I run the community. We both have communities. I have Just Ask Spirit community. Carmen has you still have your astrology community, as well. Yeah, Deep Soul Divers. So if you go to both our websites, you can see the communities that we offer. But the thing that we've really been focusing on is really getting to know the energy of effortlessness.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing, because, with manifesting, there is action, but then there's also this space. And I think that's what you mean when you say learn to let go too, because if you're overdoing it, then there's so much effort.
Yeah.
That
overthinking, overfeeling, worrying.
Yeah. So that dance of effortlessness. And sometimes it's like, well, how is that going to happen here on earth, right? How are we going to live this? And what I've been channeling lately is that's going to happen from really knowing what you're, really understanding that everything's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, you've got a lot of choices.
Yeah.
Including how you respond and react to things. Yeah.
And sometimes I think, when we get busy, or we get used to a certain routine, and it's, and we realize, this, I don't like this. Like, this is kind of, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't, it can be scary to make change, but it's the fear of change that keeps people stuck or not taking risks. Or opportunities, or the fear of how much work it is, or, how stressful it's going to be. But then if you don't, take a risk and do something, then you may regret it. And they'll think, man, I should have did that. So you got to really, sometimes you won't know. You've got to make a change.
You just have to make,
And you learn from it. Because if you never change or you stay stuck,
True.
You're never going to bring the new energy and the new opportunities and the new people and the new things your way. But change is hard because even they call eustress. I remember, like top 5 stressors, moving, money problems, divorce, new job, having a baby, getting married. Positive things are on the top 10 stressors, and they're good things, but they bring change. Any kind of change can be stressful.
And you've got to have that resiliency behind you. If you don't have your bounce, it's going to feel like they knock you down. Like, oh, what next? Kind of thing. Hit me again, right?
Yeah.
But you've got to have that resiliency. I think throughout it all, what I'm feeling in terms of tips right now, Carmen, with the Gemini energy, with the overthinking, don't let it interfere with your self-care, because I think that sometimes if I get in my head too much, all of a sudden the clock is ticking, and that hour I just had available to me to maybe go for a walk or get a drink of water, just blew that away thinking.
I've been trying to do more self-care and just not always feel like I have to be doing something, but being okay, relaxing a little bit and not go. And so once I did that, like I haven't had my nails done in I don't know how long.
I was noticing you had your nails done.
I went and got a mani and pedi yesterday. I never do that, guy. I'm kind of a tomboy. I'm a sporty. So I really have never been into nails and all that till, ladies at work got me into it, but I only do it once in a while and I haven't done it in years. So I went and had my nails done and I pampered myself but it was hard. I took a whole hour, I was like, I'm going to do the whole gig. I want the lavender cream. I want the soap. Like I went ahead and I did it all. And I was like, this is self-care. Like I'm trying to do some self-care things to heal. And I'm like, I just pulled in. It was just a gut instinct. Let's get my nails done. Like I never do that.
Why not?
So I did it yesterday.
Well, you're changing, Carmen. You're changing right in front of us.
Well, what happened was I got bit by a tick and got Lyme disease.
Oh, that's right.
And I think honestly, it was the universe saying, you need to rest, and we're going to zap your energy so you stop, go, and thinking you have to be forcing things. So it kind of made me like, I don't want that anymore. I don't want that to happen. I'm on antibiotics still, like a month, but I'm feeling better. I mean, I'm still.
Yeah, you look a lot better too. Yeah.
But it was kind of what sometimes things happen to force us to stop and force us to rest. And we don't want it to get to that point. We want to know when we need to do self-care and
absolutely
balance. It's all about balance. But.
Yeah. Well, this time always goes by so quick, and unless you have something really important to share here. That is our week of Sunday, May 25th. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend with your families and that the weather is wonderful for you. And you do take time off from work and enjoy this beautiful time of year. And remember, we are on YouTube. So if you miss us on KMET Radio and you love these updates, please go to Deep Dive with Carmen and Sherianna, YouTube. Subscribe there, and then you can catch up later.
Yes.
Thanks so much, everyone, for listening to another episode of Deep Dive. Bye.
Hi, this is Carmen Turner Schott, author and psychological astrologer. My newest books are Your Astrological Energy and Astrology's Magical Nodes of the Moon. Both offer powerful insights to help you understand your emotions and your spiritual journey through astrology. Discover how your birth chart can help you heal, transform, and become more resilient. Visit my website today at carmenturnershott.com and grab your copies on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and online stores.
Looking to transform your life? Sherianna Boyle, author of 11 powerful books, invites you to take a deep dive. Explore her emotional detox series, discover manifesting with energy in action,
and connect with Spirit in her latest book, Just Ask Spirit. Start your journey today. Find all her books at sheriannaboyle.com.
Thank you for tuning into Deep Dive with Sherianna Boyle and Carmen Turner Schott. If today's episode inspired you, don't forget to share, subscribe, and leave us a review. For more insights and resources, visit carmenturnerschott.com and sheriannaboyle.com. Until next time, keep diving deep into your soul's journey.